Sadhu Sundar Singh, With and Without Christ, Part 11. Spiritual Experience. In Germany, a leading psychologist asked me about my spiritual experience and peace of heart. He said, "What proof have you that spiritual peace and satisfaction is the result of the presence of the Holy Spirit or of the living Christ in your heart, or that they are not subjective but have no objective reality?" I replied, "The existence of hunger and thirst in us is the proof that there is besides them some objective reality such as food and water that will satisfy them. Can you tell me of any man in the whole world who, by his imagination alone, has been able for any considerable time to satisfy his hunger and thirst? It is an utter impossibility. It's possible that he may, by autosuggestion, be able to work up a subjective mental state in which he does not feel his hunger for a short time. But it is not possible that a man should, by autosuggestion alone, obtain for his whole life full satisfaction of soul and the peace that passes all understanding. That can be permanently obtained only in Him who has created this spiritual hunger and thirst in us. And when we live in conscious union with Him and obtain from Him this satisfaction of heart, our whole being bears witness that we have at last obtained that reality which we so passionately longed for." Christ and His Church. A German gentleman who was an interested supporter of missions asked me, "What form of church organisation will be adopted if all India becomes Christian?" I replied, "There is no country in the world that is wholly Christian, and there never will be. And even if India ever becomes Christian, it will only be to the extent that any of the countries of the West are Christian. For as long as the world lasts, good and bad and earnest and indifferent will always be found. Only if all were changed in heart and life could we say that the kingdom of heaven had come. But then the world would not be world, it would be heaven." About the church, people are continually introducing changes in worship and creating new sects, but they are not satisfied with any of them. The real need is not that we should adopt new forms, but that through the living Christ, rivers of living water should begin to flow through us. When the water of a Himalayan mountain stream leaches the plains, men dig canals for it. But away amongst the great mountains, it makes its own way, past cliff and rock and valley, and no one digs a channel for it. So the new life at first makes its way through the lives of individual Christians, but they feel no need of organising channels for it. But when it flows through whole communities, then they will organise channels or churches for it to meet their needs. At that time, the man-made sects will disappear, and there will be only one church of the living Christ, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. John 10:16. A Philosopher and a Saint. Though we cannot say that any country as a whole is Christian, still there are in all of them many true Christians who are busy in the Lord's work. They neither become proud when praised, nor disheartened when criticised. They know that there is danger in being spoken well of. As the Lord said, "Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you." Luke 6:26. For this is a hindrance to spiritual life and progress. But this danger does not exist when we are spoken evil of. The truth is found neither in over-praise nor in over-blame, but lies between them. Once a philosopher went to a saint and asked him, "Why do people call you saint?" "Out of love and respect," he answered. "I am a sinner as they are and have been saved only by God's grace." Then the philosopher asked, "If that is so, then what difference is there between you and other people?" The saint said, "Perhaps you remember that Socrates said he had come to know that he knew nothing. Then when he was asked if he, as a philosopher, knew nothing, what difference there was then between him and ignorant men, Socrates replied, 'At least I know that I know nothing, but they do not even know that they know nothing.' Such," said the saint, "is the difference between me and other people. I know that I'm a sinner, but they do not even know that they are sinners. so they are careless and indifferent about their salvation. Light and darkness. We should ever be watchful and prayerful, for if the light that is in us becomes darkness, then how great will that darkness be? Matthew 6:23. Though our eyes are little, they see many things, great and small, far and near. If the pupil is affected, then not only is darkness created in the eye, but for us the whole world is darkened. So we must pray that the light that is within us be not darkened, and also that our light may shine before men, so that we may glorify our Father who is in heaven. A diver. It is also necessary that we should live in the world like a diver who, when diving for pearls in the ocean, either holds his breath, that water may not enter his lungs, or else continues to breathe through an air tube as long as he is in the water. We must be in the world, but not of the world. We must be like these two kinds of divers. We must stop breathing the air of the world, and, being dead to it, should be alive unto God, and by means of the tube of prayer that reaches up to the eternal God, should breathe the Holy Spirit. Thus, while living in the world, we shall find the precious pearl of salvation.